But anyway, now we got to the main event of the evening, which was another interview, obviously. But at 9:37 p.m. Eastern, I clocked it. Roman Reigns began making his entrance with Paul Heyman and Solo and Jimmy Uso. And I know he's a big star. And I know that the entrance is the pomp and pageantry of the thing. Guess what time? How long from the time the entrance started till he spoke his first word, Brian? Guess the time elapsed.
6 minutes.
You are incorrect. Only 4.5.
Oh.
4.5 minutes later, he spoke his first words. And then we acknowledged him, and then he moved on. And this was brilliant in a number of ways, what he did, because he said, we got to address some of the things that were said on Monday. My little brother, Seth Rollins, and nobody reacted. And then he said, that's right, no pop.
God, that was something. How about that?
Oh, my God. Don't throw rocks at a man carrying a machine gun, Seth. And I hate that the writers probably told him to say most of those things, but he was wholeheartedly with it. But apparently it didn't get over on the island of relevancy out there in the South Pacific. But he said, Seth Rollins says he's got the title, the blah, blah. Roman calls it the loser bracket title. I beat all those guys that are contending for that. He told the truth that here's the heel telling it. It was devastating to the case they made on Raw. It was obviously what everybody was thinking because we said a lot of these same things. But so they have a guy say something on Monday night on purpose and then have the other guy come out and just fucking destroy him on Friday. And he said he runs around for 2 years in his wife's clothing and calls himself the guy. Well, yeah, I work 10 times less than you and I make 10 times more money. You people want Seth Rollins money or tribal chief money? Oh my God, stop it. He's already dead. And the toe of the boot just kept kicking him.
And you wondered about those comments that Rollins made about him on Monday night. Like, wow, those are a little hard there.
Yes. And this was the perfect receipt. And this is, so anyway, he says, so Cody can do whatever he wants to do because he's got values. It may not all be about the money with Cody Rhodes. So Cody can either be the very best number 2 in the world or take another crack at number 1. And I mean, let's just stop there before we go any further. Good Lord, nobody was going to buy Seth's line of goods that he was trying to sell on Raw, except if you were the AEW style fan that's like, oh yeah, he has great matches, because it was just bullshit and it was made up and you couldn't get behind it. I didn't think they were going to just disembowel and fucking, circumcise, or what's the word I'm searching for? Neuter? Cut the balls off of Seth Rollins so verbally, but I think Roman may have been just a tad bit personally offended. It's kind of like when Lawler got hot when Jimmy Hart said, what do you do with a horse when he breaks his leg? You shoot him.
Did you see the video? I forget when it aired on this show, but it was Cody and Seth Rollins. It was Rollins doing commentary talking about the various champions of the NWA and the WWE. Once again, do you want to be the Hulk Hogan champion or the Ric Flair champion, the Dusty Rhodes champion? All of a sudden, they had a Ric Flair montage. I was like, what is this? And I stopped to fast forward to see it. And it was all building up that promo. It was referring to that promo, I guess.
See, they're being too smart for their own good, and that they can't build up the secondary title, especially while Seth is the first and only owner. First and only owner of it. It's not going to be nearly as big or as important to the fans or anybody else as the ones that Roman Reigns are wearing or is wearing, or whatever the goddamn grammar is. So they're just tearing down their big one, trying to build up their little one, aren't they?
Who knows?
Well, anyway, when he said, "You want to be the very best number 2 or take another crack at number 1, Cody music." And he gets a big pop and he makes his entrance. And they go to the break in the middle of an interview segment because it's already been going about 8 minutes and they got a lot more to go. But the cliffhanger is, who is Cody Rhodes going to choose when he comes back or when we come back? And they come back 3.5 minutes later and the music's still playing and Cody's just now stepping in the ring. So he must have stopped to have a coffee or whatever. And the big Cody chants. And boy, howdy, they're ready to see this fucking thing. And he asks Roman, can we have the ring to ourselves? And Paul and Solo and Uso step out. And that's when Cody tells the story. I took counsel this week. I talked to family and friends and legends. And Seth has made great points in his argument, but I disagree. It's not the Hollywood title. It's the title that my daddy had in his hands, and that's the title I still want. And everybody thinks, oh, here we go. And then Cody says that, Roman, you say all of this is yours. So finishing my story is taking everything away from you. And I want that title, and I'm coming for it because I want everything, but not at WrestleMania. And that's when people kind of go, what?
Even Roman was surprised.
Yes. And he says, I took counsel from one individual that I talked to that knows you very well. And boom, The Rock's music hits. And Roman's face changes. And in a realistic way, not a way. And the place goes batshit. And here comes The Rock. And now, by the way, The Rock's music starts playing at 9:52 p.m. SmackDown goes off the air at 9:58 because they're on network time. And nothing else was said. Rock makes his entrance, shakes hands with Cody. They hug. He whispers something in Cody's ear. Cody smiles and then leaves, turns back and nods, sort of like a, he ain't heavy, he's my brother, look back. And Rock does the slowly I turn to Roman, and the music comes down and the Rocky chants go. And he does the face-off with Roman. First, they're all the way across the ring, and they get a little closer, a little closer, a little closer. And finally, as they're about 6 inches from nose to nose, we go off the air. So the last 6 minutes on the air, nobody spoke. It would just, but that's the thing, is we'll dissect in a moment the logic of it or the reasons for it or the potential backlash from it or whatever the case. But what a fucking 2-segment piece of business here. If you just want to talk about making people go batshit about something in the building, in the room, in the moment.
Well, part of it is that they've stacked it so that The Rock gets these kind of reactions because he keeps coming out as a surprise. The surprise pop is different than the advertised pop.
Yes. I'm swallowing still. I thought you were going some further with that.
But I mean, every appearance he's made recently, it's a surprise appearance where all of a sudden his music hits and people react to it.
Yeah, but if it's Tits McGee and the music plays, people are going to fucking throw goddamn fucking stale jelly donuts at him. He's still a star to get the, oh shit, it's him.
Right. I mean, I'm sure the people in Birmingham didn't expect The Rock to show up.
No, that wasn't part of the advertised program.
They didn't realize how desperate he is.
But see, I'm being neutral because I see both sides of this thing, and you could have bigger troubles than what they've got as far as, oh goddamn, which major star do we put in this main event that sold 100,000 tickets already live? But this as a performance, Roman was fantastic here. And then Cody, he's over and they want to see it. And they've got him to where they want to see it. And I thought he performed this well, even though that it is on the face of it, the surface of it, we don't understand why he made this decision. We do because we know the backstage news and the out of the ring news, but just on the television presentation.
In kayfabe, it makes no sense.
In kayfabe, well, it could. I'm going to tell you in a minute how it could eventually, but right now it doesn't make a lot of sense to the average fan. Go, well, we wanted to see you do it, and we like The Rock, but you know. So the segment was great. You know, they've been doing ratings on SmackDown when you get star after star after star. Last week was almost 2.5 million people. I'm pretty sure this one, when the numbers come out, will be a big number and probably massive at the end, because you, at the very least, even if Rock was a surprise, you knew that Cody and Roman were in the middle of the ring face to face. So they're doing big numbers for this, and it was a good segment on the program.